Hello again. What did I hear? I know. Remember Edward Snowden? Well, what Fox News just reported is he's homesick. And he does wish to return to the United States. However, what he needs assurance of is that if he does return to the United States, his trial will be an open trial, not a closed trial. Similar to the trial that Bowie Bergdahl was subjected to by a military tribunal. We still don't know officially what they've ruled in Bowie Bergdahl's case. We have an idea. There have been leaks, but there's nothing official. And we're going on to what? A year? Anyway, Edward Snowden would like assurance that if he does return to the United States, his trial will be an open forum. Well, do you think that's going to happen? You know what the government's going to say? Well, we can't allow that to happen because Edward has a lot of pertinent information specific to the government. And that information can't be made public. It can only be made available to the members that have been elected by the by the American people. So his trial will have to be done behind closed doors, like most of the events that occur in this country. I don't think he's going to come back. Because if he does come back, then his trial will be held behind closed doors. And he will be found guilty of espionage and treason. But the chosen one, who we know has been supporting the Muslim Brotherhood since he got into the Oval Office, we also know that the chosen one has murdered American citizens with drones. But there's no trial for him, because he's the POTUS. Number uno, it does have its advantages. So do I see Eddie Snowden coming back? I don't think so. Now, if in fact the chosen one leaves at the end of his term, which I highly doubt, and if that PSP doesn't break the glass ceiling. I saw her on a little clip. It's time now for women to stand up and support a woman who can break the glass ceiling! You know, I'd like to see that glass ceiling fall on her fat head. Not to kill her, but just to fall on her fat head. So she can say, you know what, I broke the glass ceiling! Ah! If the chosen one does leave, and if that PSP skag steals the Oval Office, well, we'll be no better off than we are right now. But again, if you're a viewer of mine, I do not believe Obama will leave. Why would he build an underground bunker, a new command center, which might take a year to complete, if not longer, for someone else? It makes zero sense. But we'll see. Some of us might see. I might not be one of them. I gotta believe that I'm on their hit parade. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about Dancing with the Stars. No. You know, I've got, I don't know, 7,000, close to 400 videos. Do you think they don't know who I am? They meaning, you know, they gotta know who I am. You remember, about maybe 3 years ago, there was a patriot in Texas that posted a video. And it was not a complimentary video to the chosen one. And then the FBI had 2 vehicles parked in the vicinity of his house. One of the vehicles, the occupants left their vehicle, knocked on his front door, and his wife had a video camera. And they said, "Put that down." She said, "No, it's my video camera and you're on my porch." And he was questioned about, does he have guns? Has he ever gone to D.C.? Does he have any plans to go to D.C.? Well, they know I have guns, but I have no plans to go to D.C. I would not want anything to happen to the chosen one other than to have him stand trial for treason. Yeah, he would become a martyr if something were to happen to him. And I would hate for him to become a martyr. But that's what all Muslims want. He too believes that he'll get 72 virgins, but in his case, they'll be male virgins. They're harder to come by, actually. Well, no, I think the other ones are harder to come by too. Especially in that part of the world where they rape, what, 2-year-olds or 5-year-olds? I don't know, folks. I don't believe this country will survive much longer. Do you?